Most people who aren't TCKs might be surprised to learn that many TCKs actually feel more at home in the country where they grow up than they do in their passport country. And then there are some third culture kids who long for the day when they will finally look like, sound like, and just be like everyone around them. And for those TCKs, they could come to what easily could be a false assumption. That assumption being, one day I'll finally go home. And when I get there, things will finally make sense. I'll understand the culture. I'll fit in. People will understand me. I will belong. And for many TCKs, that hope can last for years, sometimes even decades. I mean, after all, if you've spent much of your life feeling different, it's only natural to believe that somewhere there must be a place where everything just clicks. A place where you finally feel normal. And for some TCKs, that place is often imagined to be their passport country. I mean, it's the country their parents come from. It's the country they've heard about for years, and the country that many people assume this is your home. But then something unexpected happens. They get there and they realize, I don't belong here either. Now, that doesn't mean that they hate the country or that people were unkind to them. And it doesn't mean that they can't eventually build a life there. But many discover that they don't feel as at home as they had expected. I mean, the references are different, the humor is different, the assumptions are different. People talk about television shows, cultural events, childhood experiences that everyone seems to know about, except the TCK. And for the first time, some TCKs realize something surprising. They might look like everyone else. They might speak the language perfectly, but they don't always feel like everyone else. You know, I've met TCKs who've told me they felt more foreign in their passport country than they ever did overseas. Not because they didn't understand the language. Of course they understood the language. It's their mother tongue. But because they didn't share the same cultural story. They'd spent their childhood learning different rules, different customs, different ways of seeing the world. Yet all the time while learning those things, basically an outsider. I mean, after all, they're not indigenous to that country. And now suddenly they find themselves back in their passport country in a place where everyone assumes they're now insiders, but inside they still feel like outsiders. And I think that's one of the most confusing parts of the TCK experience. When you're living overseas, people expect you to feel different. They expect you to make cultural errors. But when you're living in your passport country, people expect you to fit right in. And when you don't, it can be difficult to explain why. Because from the outside, everything looks like it should work. Yet inside, something still feels out of place. In fact, there's a fascinating framework many people use to describe different TCK identity experiences called the hidden immigrant diagram. We'll explore that in a future video. So as I wrap this up, over the years, I've noticed that many TCKs eventually come to a very important realization. And that is, belonging isn't the same thing as citizenship, or ethnicity, or even speaking the same language. Belonging is something deeper. It's that feeling that your story now makes sense. The people understand where you've been, and you don't have to explain every part of yourself. And for many TCKs, finding that kind of belonging can take time. But the good news is many do find it. Not because they finally discover the perfect country, but because they discover the right people, the right community, and the right relationships. And perhaps that's where belonging has always been found. If you're a TCK, I would love for you to share in the comments. Have you ever felt like you didn't fully belong in your passport country? Share with us what that experience was like. We'd love to hear it so we can learn from you and from your experience. And for all of you, if this video resonated with you, be sure to check out my video called Everybody Leaves Eventually, where we explore another common TCK experience. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.